Months ago, our next guest made headlines all over the world after being attacked by a bear on her ranch. Not only is she alive, but you won't believe how great she looks today. Please welcome Alanna Hansen. If you just joined us, Alanna's telling us about being attacked by a bear and finding her way back to her truck with her two dogs, driving herself to a fire station where she's airlifted to get surgery. And Alanna's the surgeon who took care of you is here with us.
Yes.
And in the audience, and we'd just love to say hello. And your son is here as well, right? Dr. Kim Lee, thank you for joining us. Now, were you there when Alanna arrived?
Well, I was called pretty emergently to the operating room, actually. It's a little unusual when they call the chief resident directly. Usually they don't go to the higher-ups. So I knew there was something serious or more complex about her. So I dropped everything and went right away. She was already intubated or had a breathing tube in. She was in the CT scanner, and she had bandages covering her face. So I had no idea what she looked like.
So you have no reference of what her...
No reference. And I looked at her CT scan, and it looked pretty bad. There was tissue everywhere. So immediately from there, she went to the operating room, and that was the first time I saw her face. I had no idea who she was, what her name was, what she did, what she looked like before, but
So when you're saying when the first time you get in the emergency room, you first see her face, can we see it? I think we have a chronology of photos here.
This is after the operation.
Over 1,000 stitches.
That's right.
Yeah. And so when you get into the operating room, how do you decide how you're going to make her face when you don't have any reference?
Right. Well, you know, there was no real planning that took place because we didn't know what she looked like and we didn't know what we were dealing with. So when the bandages came off, you were pretty much looking at bone and all these pieces that looked like a jigsaw puzzle. And it was pretty much trying to piece the pieces together. And that's what we did.
Did you think to yourself, I'm just going to make a face here? Did you use the structure? I mean, how do you decide?
Well, basically, her soft tissue was splayed everywhere, so we were looking at bone. And
so you had no chance to speak to her?
No.
There was no conversation?
She was
already ready for you to do what you could do?
And I just took it piece by piece and tried to put it together and see how it would be put together. I mean, the one thing on my mind was, this is a woman who survived a horrific attack. I didn't want her to wake up, look in the mirror, and regret surviving.
Wow, that's a... Thank you so much, Alanna, for sharing your inspirational story. It just really was an honor to meet you today, and I really got chills during your story, not only because it's riveting and the sensationalism of it, but because of how you choose to deal with it and the journey that you've taken emotionally. We wish you the best.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll be right back.